if a girl has a OnlyFans and she posts videos of herself masturbating, let's say, should she refer to herself as a porn star?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I feel like, it's about, again, it's about the longevity, who you know, who your fans are, and like being recognized and things like that. I feel like I wasn't even myself a porn star until like maybe the 5th year I was in the business, and I was in the business for over 10 years. I think that, but again, it has changed. It's not really like how it was before with DVDs and box covers and, these appearances that were once a big deal. And now it's just kind of more lucrative as far as the OnlyFans and more those kind of niche kind of things. And webcamming is a really big thing as well. So I feel like people are more popular in their own merit in those things, but I wouldn't necessarily call them stars, a porn star.
Like if you were to go even do, like if you were to make your triumphant return and drop a crazy scene or whatever with a big porn company, it's like whatever they're going to pay you is almost certainly less than the additional bump that you would see in your OnlyFans and stuff from just getting more subscribers and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So all of a sudden, the mainstream porn companies who used to be like the sole source of revenue for somebody like you, not sole, but like majority of the money you were bringing in, all of a sudden are just basically like an advertising platform for your own thing.
Agreed. And I also feel like it kind of showed us how greedy some of those companies were and how much money they were really making. And, as an independent contractor, you can't control or see numbers, and that they're really making. And so now because you are seeing the pay difference from an OnlyFans thing, it's kind of like, again, as a business person, how could you go back and do what's making, it's like you're losing money in doing something like that. So it does, and they do have advertising things, but I feel like it's kind of awoken a lot of, even performers like myself of knowing the capability of what we could do with eliminating the middleman.
There was probably, like when you got into porn, there's probably very few girls that were making $1 million a year, right?
Oh, for sure.
And now there's a lot.
There's a lot.
And there's no fucking companies involved.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's definitely changed, the game. And again, it's social media. It's like the internet. It's, it's a blessing. It's definitely given us more of more of a say and a stand of like what we can do with our business ongoing as well.
So you got into doing porn at 21?
I was 21.
Okay. So what was your sex life leading up to that, and what helped you make the decision that that's what you wanted to do?
My sex life before I was in college, and so I was just young, dumb, and full of cum. I just had sex like every other college girl. I was a bartender.
You went to frat parties?
I didn't do frat parties because I worked. I was like a bartender and assistant manager at a bar.
Well, there's a lot of dick to get as a bartender.
That's true. So you see all the drunk ones and non-ones, like what to navigate. You see what you do, and if they're still awake. And where I went to college, it closed really early. I think it was like midnight and 1 o'clock on the weekends. So most times we'd either go to Austin, which was not very far, and
6th Street,
yes,
war zone.
6th Street is pretty crazy.
I lived out there for a few months, and it is a scary, scary scene every night.
It is. It's pretty intense. It's like Mardi Gras, all year round.
There's like a big part of me that would like to just go to 6th Street and just sort of stand on a roof and just watch as all the different bars flood out. And because there's literally like a frat, like jock bar, and then like a Puerto Rican bar, and they're like both let out at the same time. But then like a ton of other bars too, and they all let out. And then somebody steps on somebody's foot, and all of a sudden they're just beating the dog shit out of each other. It is so.
There's always a fight on 6th Street. No, never gonna.
And there's
fail.
cops on horses to stop it. And even that, like even
they
these
close
dudes
down the whole street, and it's And there's even the local ones too that stay that have a little tutu, that has little, it's fun.
And it's like for me, like the second where I'm about to punch somebody, and then I remember like, oh yeah, there's 5 cops on horses right there. That makes me know I'm not gonna punch this dude.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm not even scared of the cop. I'm scared of the horse.
The horse. You don't want to get kicked.
Real talk. Okay, so because being the bartender is kind of like training for being like a stripper or an adult star, right? Because you're sort of like the focus of the whole room. Everybody needs to come to you. You're like mini famous in that environment, right? And
yeah, I guess in some sense the word. I've always liked, attention of things. But I started from doing shot girl, waitress, bartender. I moved, from the bottom all the way to the top. Before I left, I was assistant manager.
And were you like working at the bar and you'd have people coming in and saying like, oh, you're wasting your talent. You need to get in the industry?
Not at all. That's like, I don't even think that's no one ever even told me anything about porn. I never watched porn at that time at all. It was very, very random and very just kind of fell into my lap. And yeah.
Interesting. Because there's like most people out there, like most girls who are, let's say promiscuous, they probably wouldn't think about doing the porn thing because it just seems so crazy to put all that information out there. Did that occur to you at all in your head, or how did this go?
No, not really. Like how I got approached, it was a company called Shane's World, which was reality-based porn, and at that time there was none. So it was kind of really new, and also back then it was pre-internet, but like the very early on. So a DVD to do a DVD took months to like replicate, edit it, and do all those things like that. So my first scene actually didn't come out until way later, and I did an internet scene that came out like immediately.
So how
So it was
did you
very
get
different.
approached about that?
So I was going to a bar, or going to work, and I had actually been approached by Eliminate the couple of days before because they wanted me to be on the show. So I thought it was the same people, and they were like coming back to talk to me. And I was like, if you want to talk, you have to go in the bar. They're like, we're not the Eliminate people. They're like, but we're doing this thing out here. We're trying to get girls that are in college that have never done scenes before to do a scene in a movie with me. So I was like, okay, cool. They're like, we're going to Austin tonight. Da 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 da. We're here. Take my number when you get off of work. If you want to meet up, let me know. So we exchanged numbers, and I never heard from them. So the next day, being like, oh, I didn't like rejection, I was like, oh, I guess you didn't really want me in your movie anyways, which I had no idea, or not. I didn't message him to be like, oh, I want to be in your movie. I just didn't know where it came from.
You were pissed, like, how dare you?
Yeah,
fucking
like, why am
tease
I
me?
not good enough for your movie? Like, it's that like denial, like, I don't know, all those things. So he answered right away, and he was like, oh my God, I didn't think you'd even want to do it. He was like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at home. He's like, we're on our way back to Houston. He was like, we'll turn around right now if you want to do it. I'm like, I'm not saying I want to do it. So he stayed on the phone with me for like an hour. They picked me up. I ended up doing a scene with him. And yeah.
That's crazy. I wonder what the success rate is like. Like, I'm trying to imagine if I were just to go to like random bars in Texas and just ask the bartenders.
Well, he
if they want to do
originally
porn.
started because he was from Texas, and he had one girl already committed to doing it he had known. So he knew, and she had college friends that I guess they had said that they were going to do. So he had kind of like it's kind of set up a little bit, but he was trying to get girls to do a thing. So it was a whole series.
I feel like the opportunity to do adult content is like much more present in the minds of the average woman these days because OnlyFans and the private snap thing has kind of made it a lot more accessible that like even girls who haven't done it have maybe at least sort of ran through it in their head and been like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, I think there's just so much more too. And then also the internet changed the game. There's just so much to like filter and go through. And I also think that women watch more porn nowadays as well. Like doing, when I do appearances and like that, there's more women, I feel like, at sometimes than there are men. Or actually more vocal women as well.
But are they like feisty lesbians or are they
Not
just
all the
sort of like
time.
chill fans?
They're chill fans. I mean, there's an assortment of every kind of fan, but I feel like for me, one thing I get a lot is they're like, thank you for being a curvy girl and like letting us feel comfortable and like in our own skin, because
that's cool.
I kind of like, I don't know, like I've just always felt comfortable in my own skin. So I felt like I'm just like to be naked most of the time. So they just like, kind of thinking that way. So for me, I think that that's really cool to, get out of that because I'm not the average skinny, big boob like girl. I have curves, I have hips, I've got a booty.
Have you always kind of had the same body type your whole life though?
I have, yeah. I've always been really like athletic. I played sports in high school, college, and yeah, so I've always had that athletic build.
You still work out a lot?
I do work out. I work out like twice a week, not like crazy amount, but I do work out.
Okay. You're not that obsessed with it?
Not that obsessed. I know I started working out with a trainer a couple of months ago, like 4 months ago, just, new year kind of thing. We're getting ready for the new year, just being healthier. The older you get, I don't bounce back as much as I once was. So,
you still drink and shit?
I do like to drink.
You're good at it, I'm assuming?
I'm good at it. Coming from Texas, yeah, we were built that way.
I feel like I'm like officially like not good at drinking anymore. And if I were to start again, I would probably be like a fucking straight up like freshman.
Yeah, you'd have the bad hangovers the next day. You got one good night in you?
I don't know. Because I mean, I just haven't really drank in so long. I haven't drunk in so long that I don't know if it would like, I could drink and I'd feel fine or if I could drink and then I would feel absolutely devastated because I'm not used to it anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I drink to like, it's like a maintained thing. I don't drink to like get wasted and sloppy. I'm not like a big shots person, but I like to drink and.
What, like end of the night, couple glasses of wine type thing?
I do like wine. I like some red wine these days.
I see, but I don't know. I feel like a big part of why I don't drink is like my stomach gets fucked up.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're drinking.
The wine will still do that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's part of getting old.
So it is. So you decide. Wait, how old are you?
34.
Oh, I'm 36. So we're sort of in the same bracket. Okay, so you decide that you actually want to do it. Does this guy actually come? He turns around on the highway and
They
comes
turned
right
around
back?
on the highway. They come and pick me up, and then yeah. So I still don't really know what I've gotten myself in at this time. And we go and we do a scene in the middle of somebody's land and
Somebody's land? What kind of land? Like a grass field or like a canyon?
Yeah, it was underneath a tree on a grassy knoll.
So no permits, I'm assuming.
No, it was like, it was reality. It was just kind of like on a whim thing. So we went to a flea market, which sounds really crazy and cliche of sorts, but in Texas, there's on the side of the road. So then we got a blanket. It was all romantic, but not.
A romantic blanket. Wow.
So in Texas, everyone has a lot of land. So we just went on a dirt road and they just stopped. And under this big oak tree type thing, I was like, the whole time when we were doing this scene, I was like, looking out, being like, someone's gonna come out with a shotgun and it's not gonna end well. But we did our scene, it didn't happen, and went about our business. And then
you talk about this like you didn't have any anxiety about.
I had horrible anxiety.
Oh,
You gotta
okay.
imagine, like, I was a 21-year-old girl, didn't know my phone call telling him, hey, I didn't think you'd want me in your movie would like end result me being in a car with these people about to film me have sex with someone that I've never had sex with or even made out with at the time.
Yeah, what was the
so
nerve-wracking
really
part?
nervous
Was it the camera?
situation.
Was it being in public? Was it fucking this random dude that you never met before?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't met him because I met him the night before. So technically,
You were pretty close, yeah.
Not complete stranger, but stranger.
Right.
I think it was a little bit of everything, but again, too, being young, dumb, and full of cum. Like I said, like I got the adrenaline.
You mean literally full of cum? Like there was a bunch of other cum already in there?
I mean, no, I wasn't like that at all. I don't do cream pies.
Oh,
sorry.
really?
Yeah, no.
But I've heard that that's like a thing that happens a lot is that women will have like a multiple different nuts inside them, and those nuts will actually be going to war with each other
That
to
just sounds
fertilize the egg.
Horrible.
Well, this is happening inside your body, not right now, but at other times in your life, maybe. Isn't that
Have
crazy?
you done this to someone? Is this what you're telling me?
I mean, I would have no, because I've barely came in any girls in my whole
look
life.
At your
So
smile on your face, Liz. You're like,
No.
you're reminiscing about all the times you came.
Listen, I've
inside
gone
those
my
girls.
entire life not knocking anybody up until very recently, and all of a sudden I'm just coming to my girl like freely, which is such a strange feeling.
It's just free world.
And being disappointed when she's not pregnant. My whole life I've been so thankful every time I had sex with anyone and they didn't get pregnant.
No, it flips the script.
Yeah, it's great.
Try harder.
Yeah, I gotta try harder. Okay, so you do that one scene.
Yes.
No cream pie.
No, I've only done one, and that was with my ex-husband.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
In your whole life, you only let one guy shoot the club up.
No, shoot the club up. I like that. My club has definitely been shot up another times, but not very many. I can count the people on like my one hand.
Oh, but you're talking about on camera.
On camera, I only did it one time. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then.
So we kept in contact. So we went out our way. We kept in contact.
Did you have to sign waivers and shit when you did this, or is this old school enough that?
Actually, I think I don't know.
Because when
I did because I got paid, so I had to sign something.
It's so weird though, because when I did my one scene, I'm like, they're making me sign it in front of you. I'm like saying to the camera, I am not under the effect of any drugs or alcohol, blah, blah, blah.
Did
like,
you have to have like the newspaper where the date, where it's like the actual thing? They
I don't
like
think
show
they
that
did
it's
that.
real, like proof of life.
But I've heard about that a lot. I was actually bummed out that I didn't get to hold a newspaper. It's just so cool because they probably had so many fucking lawsuits that they're like,
yeah, legal.
let's do everything we could possibly imagine to make sure that.
And then you had to check out as well at the end. Did you check out your scene at the end?
Check out what?
Like they do a video at the end of your scene with the same thing, being like, did something happen to you on set? Are you sure that, did you consent to everything that happened to make sure that they are, they're not liable anymore?
We should start doing that with these podcasts too.
Are you sure that you are okay with what's going on?
Did Adam ask you anything you felt inappropriate about? That's a good idea.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you follow me at White Girl Politicking. And if you like this clip, make sure you check out the full interview.